welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Over here, we do things that are not aesthetically pleasing. We do not have white walls. Like right now, I'm in my daughter's room just chilling. We keep it real over here. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I got Social Security disability. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. Because I have FND or PNES or NES and all the other things that they call it. Psychogenic non-epileptic seizures or functional neurological disorder. Basically, it's when you're chilling and then all of a sudden your brain is just like, I'm not doing this no more, and it just shuts off. And when it shuts off, you could be down for days, weeks, months. And when I say shut down, it means like you could be paralyzed out of nowhere. You have seizures back to back to back to back to back, 20, 30 times a day. It doesn't matter. You have memory loss, you can get injuries, hard time eating, remembering how to do things, cook, clean, how to take showers, how to care for yourself. Some people aren't able to drive. The list goes on and on and on. Basic needs, it's hard to keep up with basic needs, which is why it's hard to work, which is why I applied for disability. For me, my story is a little bit long. I'll do another video about my story, but I was told by the nurse, and I ended up in the ICU for 3 days, and I was told by the nurse in there, not the nurse, what was she? Psychiatrist, maybe? Something along those lines. She came in the room and she said, you need to get on Social Security because your life is forever changed. And when she said that, she was not lying. And like I said, I'll go into my story in the next video maybe. But for me, what I did was I immediately went on the Social Security site. I Googled it, and I started applying for stuff. I have my notes here so that I tried to film this before and I was rambling. So I went on the site, and you need to have all your paperwork ready, like your birth date, social name, work history, all that stuff, all the personal information type stuff. You need to have that on hand, so you can like fill in the application. And I filled out like why I couldn't work, the section saying like why I couldn't work, what were my limitations, how much income that do I have coming in. At the time I was married, so I was able to have that income, and then I was working like a long time ago, but I didn't have to put that in there because I was a stay-at-home mom for the most part. After that, they mailed me a similar application. I don't know, it was really similar, but it had more, it wanted me to go more in depth about why I couldn't work, like work history, like the doctors I've seen, hospitals I've been at, everything. Basically, when you are trying to fill out the forms and stuff for disability, you need to have like all your paperwork in line, like everything. So I was going to a lot of therapists and doctors trying to figure out what was going on with me while I'm doing Social Security, while I'm like trying to apply for disability. So I went on like 50 doctor's appointments, maybe even more, just going to get a checkup after I have a seizure, or going into the hospital, staying there for a couple days. Ended up going into the psych ward because they didn't know what to do with me, but because I was allergic to a medication they gave me. Going to pick up medication from CVS. Like I had paperwork for everything. I had people write for me how it changed like my life, my day-to-day living, and all of that is in here. I got all my medical records. Everything was like lined up to a T. Like it even goes as far as like COVID vaccinations and dates that I had those done. Blood work, I saved all the paperwork for blood work, even though it was in my chart. Let me see. I literally have everything. In my when I was in the ICU for 3 days, they did like EKG or EEG, all that stuff. I had to wear like a heart monitor, everything. You name it, I was doing it, and I had paperwork for everything. My seizures started. I'm trying to see if this has my personal information on it, but I don't know if you can see it. Stuff like that I kept. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. I had a whole bunch of medications that I tried, so all of them were listed. So what this hospital say on this piece of paper, it said I stayed in the hospital and my assessment plan was I was admitted to the neurological place or whatever. I did a 24-hour EEG and then a head CT and then an MRI, and I don't know what LP is. So that's just this. I then had a concussion because of a fall or something during a seizure, and then also I broke my wrist because I fell and had a seizure. So I had to get paperwork from all that hospitalization stuff and physical therapy, all that good stuff. So apparently in this paperwork, which I had no idea, my mom had people come in and pray over me, and it says that I was asleep the whole time. I had no idea. I didn't read that, which was cool. She added people to the visiting list. I had no idea that they came. So when I had my mom write me a letter, it's kind of just like, my daughter's behavior has changed and she's not the same anymore. I try to talk to her. She's unable to respond back to me. She's forgetful with her words. Her words are slurred. Like, it's hard. I witnessed her having a hard time sleeping because I couldn't sleep. So things like that, any and everything you could think of, like, have it in paperwork, have it in writing. And like I said, this is my story, so this is my story, okay? Then Derek, my husband, he wrote a letter too, saying how it was hard for me to shower, get dressed, and take care of the kids and all that good stuff. That's another video. So with that, after I did the application, the initial application, and the other application came or whatever, I had to wait like 6 months just to see if I can get an approval letter and get an appointment to see the judge. It took forever. So imagine not working for 6 months. No pay, no nothing. I had no money. After I finally got a notice to see the judge, I went there. I hired a lawyer. Oh my God, let me go all the way back. So after I did all that, I hired a lawyer. My lawyer was trash. I met with him once, and it was in his mom's house. His mom's house was getting renovated. We hardly talked. I didn't know the guy. He didn't know me. I literally gave him my money for no reason. I could have did this myself. I encourage you guys to get a lawyer though, because this is my experience. So I go to the guy's house, or his guy's mom's house. We talk about basic stuff, how I'm feeling, what my condition is. He doesn't know what it is. I hardly know what it is. We're trying to all figure it out together. Finally, I get the notice that I need to go see the judge. We go see the judge. I finally see my lawyer again after months of not seeing him or hearing from him. While I'm waiting in the waiting room, there's a lot of people there waiting to see the judge. And I was getting a little anxious because, you know, I've been having seizures and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm gonna have a seizure in front of all these people. I'm nervous about like going before a judge. I've never done that before. Like, I'm just nervous, anxious, like everything. So it's finally my turn. They call me in and I go into the room. Nobody can go in the room. Derek was there with me. He couldn't go into the room, and off rip, I was like, fuck. Because he was able to speak for me because I wasn't able to speak for myself because I forgot how to use words and stuff like that. And like my sentences weren't flowing. So it was really hard for me to communicate. So he was like my mouth for those 5 to 6 months. He was making doctor's appointments for me, everything. They knew to call him and not call me. I go before the judge. They asked me my name and everything like that. I said, my name is Tiffany. And I said it low because I was too weak to say it louder. And they're like, can you say it louder? And I instantly started going like this. Like, I knew an episode was coming on. I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, Tiffany. And then I just had a seizure. And all I heard was, is she all right? Do we need to call 911? And then I heard Derek say, no, she's fine. After that, I don't remember anything else except for walking down to the car. Somehow I was able to walk down to the car, and I heard my lawyer say, well, we won that one. I don't remember anything else that happened that day. A few maybe a month later, I get a check in the mail and it's like $24,000 of back pay that I had been waiting for those 6 months. Now I don't work. I obviously got disability. I was approved for it. It's not much at all, like at all. You figure, like, say you get $1,000 or $2,000, whatever the case may be. That's for the whole month. So if rent is $1,500, you got to think about electricity, all the other stuff. It's not enough, okay? It's not enough. So they have this work program. You could try to figure out if you're able to work. You can make up to like $1,300 a month, I believe, to see if you can like get on your feet. I tried to do it and I wasn't able to work more than a day. So, and that was like a food job. It was like a dietary aid job or something like that. I was only able to work a day, and then that night that I got home from work, I had a few seizures, and I think it was just because there was so much going on. Anyways, they have that program. You can make up to $1,300. There's a website. I'll link it down below. I will literally link everything down below where you can get the application. Everywhere that I work or have been working to get money, like everything, okay? So for income, I do Doordash. I do misplay apps. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Basically you play games and you do surveys and they pay you for it. I do Fetch. I have the Fetch app, which is whenever you grocery shop, you take a picture of your receipt and you get rewarded with gift cards to Amazon, Sephora, Ulta, Nike, Adidas, you name it, you got it. Like, you can get it. So I've been using a Sephora, Ulta, Nike, Adidas, Old Navy, Trader Joe's. I've been using all those types of gift cards. Ibotta, same thing. Scan your receipt, you get stuff. I did Uber Eats for a little bit. Whatever. Uber Eats and Doordash is like quick money, quick. Put some gas in your car and go. Also YouTube. YouTube doesn't pay much at all. So, I mean, for me anyways, because I don't have a lot of followers. So if you have a lot of followers, you might be getting paid a lot more than me. I have 4 channels and it's not working. It's not looking too good for me over here, okay? So yeah, that's how I got my disability, and I hope this helps you guys out. Have all your documents ready and let them know how hard it is for us to like do daily living. Like, bring awareness to FND, PNES, NES, seizures, everything, memory loss, you're sore, muscle sprains, chiropractor visits, therapy after therapy after therapy, because they say it comes from trauma and all that other stuff. Doctor's appointments, checkups, you name it, have it all in writing. Use my chart. Use the CVS app. Use the Walgreens app. Whatever pharmacy you go to, use the app. Have everything documented, okay? Okay. I hope this helped you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did.